Has anyone ever left a malicious review on Apple Podcasts for your show? Now, I'm not talking about a bad review because, well, that's in the hands of the person deciding to leave a review. I'm talking about someone that leaves a bad, negative, and malicious review on your podcast because they're trying to harm something for whatever reason that may be. If that's ever happened to you, in this video, I'm going to explain what you can do to combat that and dispute it. Let's get started. I'm Sebastian Rusk, and I help people start a podcast. Let's face it, you're never going to make everyone happy, and there's just some people out there that are so miserable that they have an opinion about whatever they have an opinion about, and sometimes they want to retaliate online and slander you in some form or fashion. For the purpose of this video, it could be through a podcast review. This happened on one of the shows that I host from some individual that decided to just go off the deep end and were not happy for whatever reason on there, but the review was completely uncalled for, inappropriate, and I thought, is there a way for us to be able to dispute this and combat it? And sure enough, my team was able to figure out a way to do that by simply logging in to the Apple podcast platform and doing so. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what those steps are. So in the event you've had a malicious review, remember, malicious, meaning they're trying to cause harm by leaving this review. I'm not talking about somebody that just said, hey, I really didn't like the podcast. Everyone has a right to their opinion. What they don't have a right to do is harm in any form or fashion. So let's go over exactly what it takes that in the event, hopefully it doesn't, but in the event this ever happens to you, you know exactly what to do to be able to respond accordingly. Okay, first thing you're going to do is visit the iTunes Connect contact page. I'm going to include a link below in the description of this video, so it'll bring you right there. You'll most likely need to log in with your Apple ID and password. It's going to bring you to a very short form that asks for your name and your email address. Make sure you use the email address that's associated with your podcast hosting account. Very important. The topic that you're going to choose is report a concern, and then the subcategory underneath report a concern is request a customer review of a review or something that pertains to that. You'll see exactly what it says as far as the subcategory under report a concern. And then once you do that, it may ask you to leave a comment or a short note of what happened or what you feel had happened, and then you'll simply submit that form. In about 24 to 48 hours, you'll hear back from Apple/iTunes with a decision. They'll actually go in and review the review that was left and decide whether or not it was malicious. Remember, you can't go through this entire process just because you disagree with the review. That would defeat the purposes of reviews. But of course, if it's malicious, meaning that this person's intent was to harm in some form or fashion you or your podcast, that's what this process is for. Well, I hope you're leaving this video knowing at least one or two things that you didn't even know about a malicious review being reported to iTunes and what you can do about it. If you've got questions about this or questions about any video on the channel, please leave a comment below. I do respond to each and every one of you lovely people. It is my distinct pleasure. Until next time, friends.